Hi, welcome back to episode 2 of Let's Paint, also episode 2 of our Porsche Paint to Sample colours. So here we have 7 colours that you can apply to your Porsches in game that are real paint to sample colours, and a couple of bonuses at the end. If you want to know more about true colours and applying them, I will link below. And a reminder, this video is not about the build of the car, apart from one of them. It's purely about the colours, although the build is generically a 991 GT3 RS. First colour is Viper Green. Now Viper Green is just slightly more muted than Signal Green, which we showed last week. Now funnily enough, this hex is the one that GTAcolours.com gives for Signal Green, but as I say, it was a bit too muted, and I think you'll prefer the one from last week's episode. But I thought it was absolutely bang on for Viper Green, so that's what I've used it for. Now I think if you're going bright green, go bright green. So if I was in the lucky enough position to own one of these, I think I'd probably go for Signal Green over Viper Green. Our second colour is the deep red that you get when you paint carbon, as was done for the Stinger GT pictured here. Now I was asked to build this crazy car, which I'll try to link below the real one, by Jiggle Shrimp, and to build it as a specific episode, but I had to say sorry no, because there's so many parts that are distinctive on this car that you just don't have in game. I didn't feel I could do a good enough job. This was the closest I could get for the build, and I think you'll agree, not good enough for its own episode, but at least we get to showcase the colour. I know it looks a bit bright, but inside it becomes rather more muted like the photo we saw. And even if you don't want to make a Stinger GT, I think this is a rather cool colour to have in your arsenal. Now, I find this next colour quite unusual, certainly for a sports car like this, but when I was perusing some 911 forums to find out popular colours that I could use in this series, it turned out that light ivory is really rather popular. Looking a touch dark here perhaps in this low setting sun. The sun and the lack of it in this game being the bane of my existence when I'm trying to get colours correct. Anyway, I'm not sure that this is the colour that I would pick for my sports car. I tend to think if you're having a wild car, you should have a wild colour. Before we move on, this is in-game cream, and as I apply the crew colour there, you'll see it just goes a bit darker, so I do prefer the crew colour of the two, but if you were just in a rush and wanted light ivory, you could just consider classic cream. Oh, my retinas are on fire. This has got to be the brightest colour we're going to do in the series. Now, the last couple were my own, but this one has come straight from GTAcolours.com, and I think it's perfect. There's no need to change it at all. Looks really good. Acid Green, which is a great name, really, for this colour. So, yeah, if you want the brightest 911 that you can possibly come up with, this is the colour for you. For number 5 I went for Carmine Red, if I pronounced that correctly. Now it's an unusual red. None of the reds in the game actually quite match this, although I think Formula Red is one of those that gets close. I got it very close, but then I pulled it out in this low sun and it's definitely come out looking brighter than it does on the photos, but certainly when it's parked indoors with the other cars this colour looks bang on. So try it, see what you think. We now have a very dark but distinctive green called Brewster Green, and this is certainly one of those colours that needs to be out in the sun. I'd say indoors it does look a bit overly dark, and as you can see here, black graphics certainly are hard to see on it. I think this is a colour that would work well perhaps on a car where you weren't using a graphics package, perhaps the standard GT3. And I think you'd want the chrome or silver looking wheels. I think a dark paint like this needs to be set off against some lighter elements. Last week I asked for suggestions for PTS colours that you guys would like, and the first request was Speed Yellow. So here is my interpretation of Speed Yellow, seen in the intro and the outro, also here in again a slightly low sun. It's a really smart colour, and I really do think yellow suits sports cars. Admittedly, my own sports car is yellow, so of course I'm going to say that. But I genuinely think it does, and it's also a nice, safe colour, of course. Speed yellow is not as vivid, not quite as yellow as race yellow in the game. So if you watch here, this is race yellow from the game, and if you watch it change now, that's speed yellow as I have done it. You can also see how it looks paler without that low sun on it. So you could use race yellow, but the hex is closer. Bonus colour number 1 is this wonderful Mexico blue, and the only reason it's down as a bonus is I used this colour when I did my 5 or 8 different builds on the 911, the manufacturer's catalogue video. So as I've already shown it, I didn't want to make it one of the main colours, but I think this is a wonderful blue, a stunning blue, one that you can't get that close to in the game, even with things like ultra blue, and it really does look good, and this is one where it's really worth putting your hex on the car. Now this last colour is a bonus, partly because it's a one-off colour and partly because I already featured it in a recent video, but I think it's such a lovely colour. I just want to put it here in a video about colours in case anybody wants to use it on any car really. So if you build the one-off Sally special, you can use it there. I say if not, use it somewhere else. I really like it. This sort of light blue with absolute tiniest tinge of purple to it. Looks really, really good. And there we have it, 9 different paint to sample colours for your Porsche. I've got one episode left in this series. I showed you a list of intended colours last week. Some of those have been done, some are to be worked on. I'll be adding Ruby Star because Ruby Star was a request and is proving actually very challenging. Now of course there's no reason it couldn't go on to a 4th episode, so if I have enough requests down below for unique paint to sample colours, then I will endeavour to put them into a 4th episode. If as a result of one of these videos you do actually change the colour of your 911 to one of these colours, please do let me know down below, because I'd love to know that these colours aren't really out there. Otherwise, like it if you liked it, disliked it if you didn't, but tell me why. But above all, thank you so much for watching.